All right. Well, welcome. Good evening. Whenever you watch this, thank you for joining in. This is going to be a master class. Tonight is going to be a master class. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. I got a lot on the agenda, and I'm excited. December 2nd. Tonight is December 2nd. We got the winter solstice upon us. And if you've been following me every year around this time, we go in. So I want to arm y'all with the information, the things that I'm going to be doing, the things that I have been doing, so we can get the most out of this vessel. So again, I appreciate y'all joining in. If you're on IG, anybody you think that might be interested in this topic, again, it's what I believe, practicing this lifestyle and what I've been doing over the last 20 years. This is what I definitely feel to be the most powerful information. Most powerful information as far as the practice, as far as making improvements and transformational advances in one's life. Tonight, we're going to get into it. So, before I begin, just some quick announcements. Again, in February next year, 2024, got the Jamaica retreat. You can go to my website and check out the info. And then also, if you're local here in the DMV, I got the sales going. Extended Cyber Monday, extended it all through this weekend, at least maybe through the end of the year and even beyond. So I appreciate all of you been ordering. Y'all been keeping me really busy. I've been wanting to do this talk since last week, so I guess tonight is and it's time. I wasn't too busy today. Gonna be really busy tomorrow because y'all been ordering juices. I appreciate the support. So give thanks for that. All right, let's get into it. Yeah, so winter solstice 2023. Winter solstice, what is the winter solstice? Let's start there. Very simply, again, I liken it to if we're looking at a 24-hour clock, uh, the winter solstice is 12 midnight. Winter solstice is 12 midnight. 6 a.m. would be the spring equinox. Yes, that's what we have in March. The summer solstice is in June. That would be 12 noon, high noon. And of course, the autumn equinox, the fall equinox would be 6 p.m. sunset. All right. So 12 midnight is a time where it is the strongest time for darkness in the northern hemisphere. And what that means is that it is all about the internal. It is all about when the day begins, when I mean, for me, it is my new year. Okay, so technically speaking, it is a 4-day period that begins on the 21st, concludes on the 24th. So those four days is a high energy cosmic time. High energy cosmic time. And as divine beings that we are, it is a time, it is the most important time. It is a time for us to incorporate our fasting. Uh, it is by far the strongest, most efficient time to do a fast. 1000%. Um, if we liken it to a 24-hour day, pretty much I would say 99%. I would hope that 100% of anybody watching this, we're all fasting at night. We should have our meal. We're eating with the sun. So when the sun is strong in the during the day, during the 24-hour cycle, that is when we're taking in our meals. As the nighttime comes in, digestive energy starts to transition into rest. Okay, so this is the rest time of the year. This is the time, this is really the creation time. And during this creation time, we want to take, just like we want to take full advantage of our sleep cycle, our sleep time during the 24-hour cycle. During this period here, I would say this whole month, if you can, limit your activities, limit your thinking, limit your output, limit your food during this time to get that rest and rejuvenation. Maybe you indulge for the Thanksgiving holiday. We definitely Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you into. This is not time to be indulging on any time to be rest. Just as if you didn't get any sleep at night, you're going to be no good for the next day if you don't rest properly during this month, especially during that solstice week. You're not going to be any good for next year. So 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 this is the most important time. That's why I say this is the most important information that you are going to hear. Okay, so uh now, meditation. Let me start to get into meditation real quick, because in my last stream that I did, I started to really get into meditations, talk about meditation, and I'm going to spend a lot of time tonight in tonight's class. This is class. We buckle up. We're in class this evening, and I'm going to talk about my technique, how I meditate, why I meditate, and why I feel beyond any other feeling that I can have. Meditation is the most important practice. The most important practice. I can't think of any other lifestyle practice that I practice that's more important than meditation. So we're going to get into it. All right, so meditation. We all, I mean, what is it that most people think? I'm going to make some assumptions. What most people may think when they hear the word meditation. Certainly you can think of somebody who is into some type of metaphysics, like kind of life, maybe kind of separated or out there as far as like, society. Not an outcast per se, but just an individual that maybe not connected with reality. Or it could be something that people see as I like the term kumbaya. That's a kumbaya activity. Okay, I guess it can be all of that, but for me, this is about, one, definitely connecting with my divine, with the divine, uh, with my higher self. It is not yes, it is definitely about peace and joy and love and all of those wonderful things that we should want to feel. But for me, even more than that, it is a exercise. And like any exercise, like if I was playing a sport, right, I would exercise and train my body for battle. Okay, whether it be battle on the field, battle in the business world, battle on the job, battle in the relationship, right? Meditation is a very warrior like activity because we're tapping into our highest power. Forget being able to do things on a physical level. I mean, just imagine being able to do the things that they show us in the movies, or maybe you read in some books, whether it's a sci-fi or something that, some psycho spiritual or some, something that again we have forgotten that we could do. Okay, so meditation is something I attribute first and foremost to the warrior. And if you're gonna be if you're gonna be a warrior, if you're gonna be a soldier, the highest soldier, in this game of life, and if you're not meditating, and if it's not a serious practice, then you're just pretending because meditation allows us to, like I said, connect with the divine, but then it also allows us to understand what power really is. If we're all, we're all familiar with the book 48 Laws of Power, right? And I mean, it's definitely a classic book. It's definitely something that everyone should read if you haven't read it. Robert Greene, the author, has done a masterful job. He has some other books that are really awesome. However, I mean, I said anybody who has read that book or who is planning to read that book, really all you need to really read is the introduction. And in the introduction, he talks about what is required to master the 48 laws, right? So it's almost like an underlying law, uh, uh, that is necessary for the 48 laws. And quite simply, that is control of our emotions. So again, and we're going to really get into our emotional self, because that in and of itself is the real power. And when we can go into our meditation with the understanding that we are emotional beings, and but how does that translate, or how do we use that information, to become the divine warrior that we're all destined to become. Okay, so again, in the last talk I talked about the God body. Okay, and so for me, and I've heard a few people use this term, and it's important for me to understand and really sort of create uh, a distinction in terms of what that means for me. I mean, I'm sure we all hear that, and that can mean many different things. But for me, it's really simple. The God body, there's two bodies, okay? And we would all agree that we have this physical body, which in this instance, I'm gonna call the beast. All right. So we have the beast, the animal, and we have the spirit body or the divine body. So we got the divine body and we got the beast. And the question I ask is, or that I always ask is, which one is in charge? Which one is in charge? So let's think about that, because I'm going to go through four attributes of each. We're going to go through the beast life first, because most of us, let's be honest, we still operating on that beast frequency. We operating on the lower self. Why? Because we don't take time to connect with the divine. All right, four attributes of the beast life. So we're going to do four attributes. We're going to go through the four, and then we're going to go through the four that offset or that complement or that go against the beast. All right. So what's the first? The first is, of course, food. In the indulgence of food. And not just the indulgence of food, because obviously there's so many levels and layers to this. The wrong food. And it's a ever, that's the first thing we do. We come into the world, we take our first breath, and then it's about nurturing the beast at that point. And it's not obviously a bad thing, but once we reach a certain maturity, we reach a certain level in life, we have to understand that the indulging in food, especially on a glutton level, it disconnects us to or from the divine. And of course, there's layers, because one thing I'll say, and I've gotten this question many, many times over the last 20 plus years that I've been doing a raw food lifestyle. I can say 20 something years later that the most important reason, the number one reason, you ask anybody why they do raw food, probably 9 times out of 10, they're going to say health reasons. And that's a good reason, because what? Health is wealth. But that wasn't my number one reason. When I really thought about, because somebody asked me this recently, and it really hit me, like, it really, really hit me that I didn't do this for health reasons, at least not first. I was still in my 20s. I was not. There was nothing physically wrong with me. I didn't have any type of debilitating illness or any other reason to say, you know what, I'm gonna stop eating cooked food. I did this to connect to my divine self. I did this first and foremost for spiritual reasons, and we'll go into that when we get to the divine attributes. Okay, so the indulging of food. That's number one. Number two, attributes of the beast life, drugs. And drugs, this is a big umbrella, because obviously most of the food is drugs masquerading as food. So they stimulate or overstimulate the body, because they're taking, I mean, you can basically put cooked food under this label, because when you cook a food or a herb or any other substance that you take in from, so, but if we're not dealing with food, let's just take food. We got food at number one, drugs at number two. And if we take all of the foods out of the equation, we got pharmaceutical drugs, number one, right? Pharmaceutical drugs often, what do they do? If you're in pain, if you got to go get surgery, they're gonna give you some drugs. They're gonna give they those drugs are to numb the sensation that you're gonna feel. We call it pain, because you have to disconnect from the beast. The beast has sensation, has feelings. And then, of course, we got our quote unquote natural drugs, because people ultimately want to connect to their divine self, but they're using drugs to do it. Marijuana, ayahuasca, what's the other one? Shrooms. There's other ones, I'm sure. It's a disrespect to this physical, to this. It's really respect to the beast, because you need these substances to trick the beast in order to connect to the divine, and you don't need those things. But we don't get into that when we get over there. I don't want to get that go too far ahead of myself. This next one is my favorite. It is my favorite. The third attribute to the beast life. I love it. The drama. Drama. And sometimes it's trauma, but we're just going to say drama. We're addicted to the drama. We'll never admit it, but we are addicted to drama. Especially the victimization, the victim drama, the why me drama. But we love the drama. We never admit it. But that's the beast. That's the beast in control. The drama is who said whatever about you, or who did this to you, and now this fuels you emotionally. Now you gotta talk about, you gotta talk to this one about what this one said about you, or what this one did to you, or again, it's all ties in with the victimization. This is all beast behavior. Love the drama. I love that one. Because that's all, well, we're gonna save that for later. And then fourth, last but not least, is lack. This is probably my second, after drama, my second favorite. Because lack, well, see, when you living in beast mode, right? Beast life, that beast life, all you know is this three-dimensional time-space reality, right? So we all are here. We all have these desires that we have in this life. Nothing wrong with desiring money, desiring relationship, desiring success, and these different things that we're all chasing. But when we're chasing them from the beast paradigm, there's never enough time. There's never enough money. There's always lack. There's always not enough. And even when you do get the temporary success, the money, the this, the that, right? It's only temporary, so it puts you on this roller coaster of life, the ups and the downs, the highs and the lows. And then let's mix back number three, the drama, right? Because they all work together, right? So you're feeling lack. Even though all of your needs are met, you're going to always be feeling lack. And then you got the drama. So the drama bring the gossip, right? And the victimization. And then you want to get stimulated. So here come the alcohol and the marijuana. Because this 3D reality is stress. So you're stimulating the beast in all different ways. You're stimulating the beast emotionally with the drama and the feelings. So the feelings get mixed up with the thoughts, and it's a self-perpetuating roller coaster ride that we're on. And I even mentioned again the food. So all of these things are working together to produce your life of lack, drama. Mix that in with the drugs and the bad food. Trauma is inevitable. Trauma is inevitable. 100%. Trauma is coming. And trauma is often the best thing. Because even if you got the money, you got the this, you got the that, you're still feeling like it's not enough. The trauma is what's necessary most times. 99 times out of 100, trauma is necessary. So what's the trauma? The trauma hopefully will bring the transformation. Because the trauma is something sudden, unexpected. It could be a death. It could be a stroke or something physical, serious stroke, heart attack, seizure. It could be loss of a job, this, that, just something that's going to flip you upside down. Health-wise, career-wise, relationship-wise. But oftentimes, you hear it all the time. These are the best things that could happen to people. All right, let's get over to the divine. That's the beast life. That's that beast life. So you gotta really. This is the time. This solstice. That's why I say this is. That's why I know that this is the most powerful information. Right here, right now. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in and accepting this message, because I know this is the most powerful information. And I know that not all of us have work to do, because the work never stops. No matter where you at. When I first got into this lifestyle, I was meditating every day, every morning, every evening, over at least that first year, 2 years, and then I got away from it. And not because I wanted to. Life, you get comfortable, and you just get away from your practice. You don't appreciate, or you can lose appreciation for the value of what it's bringing. It never stops. It never ends. So what are those 4 attributes of the divine life? Okay, so that we can create the God body. We can create the God experience. We can take the wheel and take control of this existence. All right, so with the beast life, we had the indulgence of food. With the divine life, we make fasting an everyday part of our life. Even on the days that you're eating, you're fasting at least part of the day, at least after course of the day. So whether that means one meal a day or eating every other day, taking one or at the very minimum 1 day a week of at least 36 to 48 hours of no food, where fasting becomes a ritual, habitual practice. And there's levels. Fasting doesn't necessarily mean, because fasting in the true essence, the true meaning of the word fast is no food, no water. So for me, that's my morning. Every morning, no food, no water. At least for my first, if I get up at 6, I'm not, no food, no water until 12. Now again, that's not what you should do. Again, these I'm just throwing out different ways to approach it, and suggestions, and because it's levels. For you, it could mean water, coconut water is my suggestion. Coconut water. I'm not a big fan of spring water, but if it's spring water, it's spring water. But at least part of the day fasting is because what? All right, so what does that mean in terms of, you know the divine? Well, when we're eating food, obviously we're feeding what? We're feeding the beast. Okay, and when we stop eating food, we get we connect more with our breath. We connect more with not eating, in terms of, because again, eating food is going to remind you that you part of this physical existence. You're going to, your stomach and your digestion and all of your organs and are going to be working. You're going to be reminded that there's food in there. You're going to be reminded that, okay, this is a physical beast that's in charge, that's saying feed me. Even though you may not even be hungry, you're just doing it out of habit. So we want to take, that's the first, that's the foundation stone. This is the foundation layer, is to begin to say, okay, I don't need to eat. My last talk, I talk about the most powerful health habit is getting in touch with your hunger sensation. We should not be eating any food until you feel hungry. I mean, there's some days where, I mean, if I'm sure if anyone has have fasted even for any length of time, there's a period where the hunger is strong and then it diminishes. So this is the foundation layer, connecting with your divine self, fasting. Okay, so number 2 was for the beast life was drugs, especially in reference to trying to tap into some higher aspect of yourself. This is a disrespect. I don't need, or you shouldn't need ayahuasca or marijuana or any type of substance that's going to overstimulate your senses, all of your nerve endings, to disconnect you from this physical in order to connect you with the divine. Meditation is all you need to do. Meditation is the second attribute of connecting with your divine self. And we're gonna really, I'm gonna go through these four attributes, and then we're gonna really get into. I'm gonna get into what happens during a meditation, how to effectively meditate. Because I don't want to get into it right here. I want to go through the four. And then we're gonna go through the warrior meditation. The warrior meditation is not some kumbaya, not for me. No disrespect or to anybody's practice. This is warrior. This we're not playing games. All right. Peace yoga here on YouTube. I'm gonna answer your question at the end, so you can post your questions. I'm gonna answer your questions after I get through this. All right. So your meditation is because again, but what I will say here as far as meditation is that just like with fasting, we are feeding ourselves. It gives us a chance to feed ourselves while we're conscious and awake. It's not just sleep. It has to be during the waking hours that we're not eating. And the same with meditation. Meditation is a conscious sleep. You're putting the physical, you close your eyes, turn off the lights, and begin to breathe. You begin to relax the body till the body goes to sleep, but you're still awake. Okay. You're because what are you doing? What you're doing is you're starting to connect. You're starting to connect with your divine self. Your divine self is not measured by time, by space, by time and space, eternal and infinite. Okay? So, because you're not measured by time and space, and also you start to understand your emotional self. So that leads us to the third one. The third attribute of the divine life is bliss. The beast life is drama. Because what is bliss ultimately? It's a choice. See, we love the drama. And the drama becomes the addiction. What this one did, this one said, and then we know the people who we need to who we can call, who are gonna be like, who are gonna just egg us on. Just feed the victimization. That's that beast life. See, with the divine life, it's bliss, and that's it. It's bliss, and it's bliss. There's joy, there's love, gratitude. You don't need these substances. You on a different high. You on a man. What? Look, I'm gonna get into it. Last but not least, with that beast life is always lack. I don't care if you're a millionaire. I told somebody the other day, I would not trade. I was a millionaire 2 years ago. I was a millionaire. I was a crypto millionaire 2 years ago. I would not trade going back to that time for the knowledge and this information right here. Because that's the fourth. There's wealth on in this 3D. But when you're whole, when you understand what it is to connect with your true divine self, there's that's it. It's finished. You're whole, you're complete. There is nothing that anybody could give to you. There's you have everything. So the fourth one is wealth. And it's the ultimate, it's the only wealth. The beast life is not enough time, not enough this, always fighting and clawing and struggling. That divine life is wealth. So this is bringing us into that power. That's what I'm saying. This is true warrior spirit practice. This is true martial arts in the mind. So what's happening in the mind? Let's build this up. We talk about why this is so important. Because again, if we go through fasting, the four of the divine life, fasting, meditation, bliss, and wealth, they all feed each other. Just like in that beast life, in the divine life, the fasting, it's like, look, food is really just getting in the way. The meditation, ultimately, the meditation practice is not just something you do before you go to bed or when you wake up. The meditation, even though it's important to do that, it's really 24 hours. It's a mental mind state that is like throughout the day. I mean, there's some periods where, okay, you may read a book that's inspiring you when your mind is more active during the daylight hours versus the midnight hour or the dark hours. It's more about putting on your relaxing music, getting into your deep breathing, and putting the body in its proper place to understand that this body is just a mask. It's almost a trick that this is you. So not only are people tricked that this is them, it is totally in control of their life. So those four are really feeding each other. Because when you feel wealthy, right, you feel healthy. Because what? Health is wealth. Health is the only wealth. So when you feel healthy, you feel wealthy. When you feel wealthy, you feel healthy. When you feel wealthy and healthy, you feel bliss. When you feel those things, you don't feel the need. When you feel whole and complete, I mean, you understand that time and space is something now that you transcend. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. not anxiety and tension. These things are deadly dangerous. So okay, so meditation. Now, you know, a lot of people, we talk about manifestation, law of attraction. We talk about, because obviously meditation is like something that's used. We talk about, these things where people talk about, again, like manifestation, law of attraction. And, to understand it, excuse that, to understand it, uh, there's a masculine and feminine principle. The masculine principle is the thought. That's what happens on more of the conscious mind, the thinking, the thoughts, right? The feminine is the feeling. So we have thoughts and feelings. Those thoughts are the electric or the electricity, or let me say electric, and the feeling is the magnetic. So when we bring thoughts and feelings in alignment together, we can create an electromagnetic field. Now, one of the things I know and one of the things I've studied is that the feeling, or the more powerful the feeling is, the stronger the magnetism. So if we're talking about law of attraction, I mean, the thoughts is really the smallest aspect of it. It's really about the feeling, especially when we start thinking about bliss versus drama, right? The bliss is associated with love and hope, faith, gratitude, versus anxiety and fear and anger, those drama emotions. So if we're going to be really living that divine life, we have to be not only be very careful, but understand that our emotional selves, again, going back to the 48 laws of power, what they talk about, again, look, the 48 laws of power is a great read. It's a classic book, no doubt. It's a must read. But the strongest the primary aspect of that book, that's the most powerful aspect of the 48 laws of power, is in the introduction, where he talks about emotions and having the control over the emotional. Again, the emotion, what are the emotions? Is the feelings. That's the feminine. This is starting to put together the God body, because we have our thoughts. We all have our thoughts, whether they be positive or negative thoughts. But let's just keep it positive, because we about really moving and doing some powerful things for 2024, right? So we got our thoughts in alignment with journaling. We got our wish lists. We got our divine lists, right? Those are all happen with our thoughts. But now we got to mix those feelings in order for conception to take place. We got to take the seed of the thought and marry it, conceive it with the feelings of hope and faith and joy and love. in a timeless way. So time don't exist. Time is just a creation that creates that beast limited belief. Okay, so if we know that the feelings is what creates conception, it would make sense that the stronger the feeling, the stronger the emotion, the stronger your power, the stronger chance that now you can make magic and miracles happen, because you create such a strong electromagnetic field. So here's a question. Here's a question for y'all, for all of y'all listening. What is the strongest expression of an emotion? And feel free to type what you may think is the strongest, what is the strongest physical expression of an emotion? It could be a painful emotion, it could be a joyful emotion. But what is the strongest, what is the physical expression? Yes, we know love, but what is the resulting visual proof that a person feels joy, love, hurt, trauma? What is, when you look at somebody, if they feel whatever boom, yes, tears, tears, Boho Boogie on IG, salute, yes, tears. I gotta DM me. I'm gonna offer you something for getting that. Yes, tears. I mean, just think. I call it a full moon emotion. When we can come to the level of tears, whether it be anger, hurt, joy, love, when we can come to the level where our body starts to express water. Now, think about what I just talked about with the masculine and the feminine on the thoughts and the feelings, creating that electromagnetic field. So, how often, we can probably all recall a time where we express tears from pain, from loss. But how many times do we express tears from joy, from love, from hope, from gratitude? I mean, it makes me almost want to bring myself to tears right now, just to even share that information. I mean, think about, one of the things I want to, really get into, because, we live in that beast life. We've all been there. Look, we've all been controlled by the beast. We come here as beasts. We all do. And what happens to the beast? When you're eating the bad food and you're in love with the drama and you're feeling the stress of lack, there's a word, trigger. We all got triggers, right? Trigger Usually it comes in a relationship, definitely can come on a job. Oh, those triggers are necessary. See, we start to move on over to the divine side. Now it's about having those triggers of joy, having those triggers of love. At least once a week. Because how often do people get triggered? I mean, it's just a drug. I mean, we are all either living that beast life where trigger is just like mm, mm, mm. Every day. It becomes normal. But how about having that trigger of just thankfulness, love, where it brings you to tears? How can disease exist in a body, in a divine body, brought to tears from love and hope and faith and joy? Impossible. Impossible. I told y'all this is the most powerful information you will ever hear. Because now we are going to be bringing this enlightenment, this truth, in this holy time. The winter solstice is the holiest time of the year. Why? Not because of, yes, it's the holiest time of the year based on the cosmos. And when we bring this type of enlightenment, we bring these things in our meditation. I've had meditations, tears are running down my face. My body feels like pure electricity. So I'm disconnected from my body, but I'm feeling sensations everywhere. Ayahuasca is disrespectful. Marijuana is disrespectful to the divine life. Yeah, you need that when you're on that beast life. When you're on that beast life. So, to effectively meditate, we almost at the conclusion of this class. So, effective meditation. Now, there's obviously many schools of thought. It's not for me. It's not complicated. It's really about understanding the beast versus the divine, and everything I've said up until this point. It's about understanding that it's all about disconnecting and reminding. It's really, if it's not anything else, it's just a reminder of who you are. Because when you really start to tap into those positive emotions, the emotion of love, joy, gratitude, and there are others. But these are all muscles. These are muscles that need exercise every day. And these are the emotions that we need to bring into the meditation. So I'll just go through my mental process. When I go into my meditation, I put on my calming meditation music. I like the meditation music. It's not necessary, but that's my preference. And obviously, I begin to breathe deeply. Obviously, all the lights are off, and I like seated meditation. So I'm seated in this chair. I try to have my hands placed gently upon my lap, and I want to be seated up. I don't want to be laying down, because laying down is associated with sleep. No, I want to be sitting up, but then everything is out. All the lights are out, and obviously I take control of my breathing, and I put the body to sleep. I put the beast to sleep, and I start to really focus on my inner eye, my the light within. I really try to, again, and there's a mantra that well, let me not call it a mantra. It's just that I repeat that, I'm eternal and infinite, infinite and eternal. Again, no time, no space. And I connect with that. And then once I'm disconnected, the body is asleep. Then I start to bring whatever feeling and emotion that I want to work on or that I want to cultivate. Let me say that. So whether it's thankfulness, gratitude, joy, love, or all of the above. Because I understand that once I start to really bring that full moonness, I mean, sometimes it's love. And, with my love meditation, oftentimes it's my love meditation that will bring me to tears. Because I think about my ancestors. So it's really easy for me to bring that emotion. But then I start to think about the people here, right now. So there's people here right now that are easy to love. If you have children, you have spouse, but then you start to translate that once that heart chakra is just open. See, that's really bringing in. I didn't realize how closed my heart chakra was until I started doing this meditation. Right? I mean, how many people in the world can you say you love so much? I love you so much. Can you count on it? Well, I guess hopefully we can count on one hand, but can you count on two hands? Was there more than 10 people? You can say, I love you so much. Apart from your blood. See, when you start strengthening these are muscles. You start strengthening these muscles. Not only because we're all going to attract, or there's going to be situations. You could be driving, somebody cut you off, or that's always an easy one, or any situation, but your love and gratitude and peace are so strong. It's like, right, you just start doing things because you infinite and eternal. So people feel that, because now you've created this huge electromagnetic field of love, peace, gratitude. People can feel that aura around you. This can only happen with daily meditation. We have so many things coming at us. I mean, all of us are feeling the Wi-Fi. But what about your Wi-Fi? See, we all got a Wi-Fi. Right? We all affected by, the 5G. What about your 5G? I got 10G over here. I'm 100G over here. Because I love you so much. I want for you so much to be successful, to be healthy and wealthy. It brings so much joy to my heart. When you can tap into, this is a feeling machine. But see, when we connected to that beast life, now the beast is in control, right? It's lack, it's stress, anxiety, pain. When we on this divine path of love and joy, now we start to make magic and miracles happen. We all have the power. I told you this is a warrior practice. This is a warrior practice. And we can make, if we're not making, because life will put situations to test that. And we often fail the test because we don't trust. We've lost trust. We've put our full trust with the beast life, with the time space. That's not possible. How is this possible? I don't have the money. I don't have the capacity to forgive you. That's too much. So we got to get into the space where we now get triggered. When we get triggered, the trigger is so strong with love and positive emotions that it can bring us to tears of joy. When was the last time that has that ever happened to you? But see, it's about, trust me, if you was on a 2-week coconut water fast, you're meditating an hour a day on love and joy and peace, you create such a high sensitive state, right? And you hear a lecture such as this, or your favorite motivational speaker talk about a testimony or a situation, brings you to tears. And then you bring that into your nightly meditation. Now you start to create such a powerful field, electromagnetic field. Again, you like one of the X-Men superheroes. See, we only limited, this whole matrix that we're in. Their number one goal is to get you to not understand your power. I'm convinced that's the number one goal. So they obviously contaminate the food. They want you to take pharmaceutical drugs, entertainment, distractions, all of these things to distract you, to poison you, to bring you from your source. See, we all should really want the source, but we get addicted to the beast in that beast life. So ultimately, the secret is right under our nose. We all have this ability to feel, and we have to use that power. That is our power, the human emotion, right? And that's ultimately the God body, because when we can use the human emotion, not the human emotion use us. Use the human emotion to connect with the divine in the highest level. Then we become magicians. Nothing is impossible because we have everything. Now, I wanted to finish to tell you my personal schedule this solstice season, as far as when I plan to go into fast. I invite you to join me so we can do this together. One thing I've learned is that fasting, meditation, doing these practices, they strengthen numbers. When you know that your brother, your sister is doing this with you, and you're doing it with them, there's a loving support there that keeps you going. When the beasts start knocking, saying, "Feed me," it becomes easy to be like, "Nah, we good, we're good." So yeah. So again, now normally I begin around the second week of December, because I like to have at least 2 weeks before the solstice itself. So looking at the lunar calendar, the new moon falls almost with the time that I would like to start. Now, I personally fast throughout the year every Sunday. So I was considering that being my start date. I don't have, let me pull up the calendar and see if I can pull up the calendar. But I believe that next Sunday. Yeah, so tomorrow's the 3rd. So next Sunday is the 10th. So I believe that's going to be my first day, the 10th. It's a one day, and it's a Sunday. So, and then by day day 14. Yeah, that'll be pretty much a 2 week going into the solstice. I mean, it'll be on the 11th day. That'll be the 21st. So I believe that's the time. That feels right about right. Normally during this time, food starts to taste different. I start to naturally lose my appetite. Um, and because I'm doing longer time, like more than a week, it may be wise to, if you're doing juices, there's even levels. Like you can do juices and smoothies. Like that's probably what I might do the first 1 or 2 days just to get me over that hump. And then by the third, fourth day, no smoothies, just juices. And then by solstice time, 21st, even leveling up at that point, where not even juices, just coconut water. I'm even considering even doing maybe 1 or 2 days dry. So I'm gonna play that by ear, but that's sort of what I recommend, is to sort of like, you know transition your body into like basically levels. So even, if you're eating cooked food, I would say, and you want to join me, I would say, okay, from here on out, raw food, just fruits and salads from here till next Sunday. So you got a week of raw food, fruits and salads, and then on the 10th, smoothies and juices. Maybe for 2 3 days, smoothies and juices, and then just juices. Going right into the solstice, just coconut water and high level meditation. And then coming out of it, basically coming out of it the way we went into it, so 3 4 days of coconut water. By the 25th, juices and smoothies, or juices. Bring in the smoothies. We may even go right into January 1. So, we just kind of listen to the body at this point, and that's my plan. So, as in previous years, I think 3 years ago, I started really coming and using social media as a platform to inspire my audience to join me in this time, because I know how important it is. It is divine time. It is holy time for the divine self, the divine body, the God body. So that's my spiel. That completes my presentation. Um, if you didn't get anything out of it, I sure as well did. So I will share any comments or questions. I know there was a question here on here on YouTube. Um, all right, so let me show this. I know y'all can't see this on IG. Hi Kepper, I have a question. Most days I do juice, orange, and coconut water at least till noon. However, I never feel hungry. I'm satisfied with juice. What do you think about that? Again, that's what I talked about. I mean, I say even, you know, stay dry, for most of those morning hours. And then once you hear that stomach saying, okay, I'm ready, bring in that orange, bring in the water, bring in the juice, whatever you do. And then maybe again, it could be a unplanned fasting day. Sometimes it's good to say, go into a day and just impulsively, like how many of us impulsively fast, for without being in pain, or something dramatic or traumatic. Again, it's the same thing. It's very similar to what we was talking about as far as you know that joy trigger that we all should want to experience. We experience that joy trigger, that it can bring us to tears of love and gratitude. We can create such a high vibrational power where we're going to attract nothing but good experiences, wealth, health, abundance. Always starts from within. We have to take control of this feeling body. So, great question. Yes, I showed this comment here. Fascinating. I always thought you needed ayahuasca to help heal trauma. You say that it's not needed. Wow. Well, that's my belief. So if it's your belief that you need ayahuasca, then I guess you need ayahuasca. But it's a crutch. Like anything else you think you need in order to take you there. It's really I say it's disrespectful. It's disrespect. Because we have such powerful emotions that we suppress because we addicted to the beast. We addicted to drama, bad food, and then we try to use these so-called substances, alcohol, ayahuasca, shrooms, marijuana. We don't need that stuff. But I guess there's levels. All right. So, yes. Yes. So, if you haven't meditated, let tonight be the first night. Let's start getting some practice in. All right, here's another question. Hi, Kepra. Other than natural jelly cocoa, is there any other type of coconut water you recommend here in the DMV? Okay, so yes, at the top level, you got the fresh coconut water, and this is true for anyone, anywhere where you might live. We live in a day. When I started this 20 plus years ago, there were you had to go to the natural fresh coconut. Now there are options, and the options are, I would say, relatively good. I mean, is it a drop off? Yes, but look, we all do the best we can. But if I had to go through them, okay, you got the coconut water right out the coconut. Number one. That's obviously at the top of the list. Number two, what would I put at number two? Number two would probably be the bottled coconut water that has been pressurized. It's a process called HPP. It's a high pressurized. It's not heat, it's pressure, and that does taste better than the pasteurized version of coconut water. But the good news is that even if you're doing pasteurized coconut water, people have told me that because when you drink coconut water, it helps to move the bowels. It helps to create peristalsis in the colon. And people have told me that coconut water out the carton, they have those tetrahedron cartons, uh, that water was able to stimulate bowel movement. I know, because I often use that coconut water when I'm making raw food dishes. And I know when you crack that seal, you have to refrigerate it. That water will spoil. So that's another good sign. So, and you can find that any health food store, any Whole Foods. I like to shop at Costco, and they have the one, you check the one in the refrigerator. That's the HPP. That's your second best option. Now that or the other brand is called Harmless Harvest. Those brands, but typically that those brands tend to come from Asia, and the water is just a little sweet for me. So if I have to drink that, and there are times when I do drink that, it's very blue moonish that I will squeeze fresh lime into it to cut the sweetness. I like to do that with the regular natural jelly anyway. So I guess, yeah, the coconut water is I mean, I just love it with lime, and so that's just my preference. But that is what I would recommend. I think that it would be good to even coconut water fast with any of those options. Whether you do the Harmless Harvest, again, Costco has their natural brand, the Kirkland brand, which actually I was there just yesterday and I saw it in the refrigerator. Um, that's a great option. Or you can get the fresh coconut water. Um, I mean, there are vendors that are selling coconuts, and so yeah, so you got options. Um, all right, so yes, so again, we're gonna wind it down here. I got a lot out of tonight. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love, energy I felt through these devices. Um, I mean, we have a power and a magnetism that, again, we've been bamboozled. We've been, and again, the programming and the conditioning and all of those things that really really allow us to connect with the beast, connect with and stay connected. It will never produce a situation of fulfillment. Never. Fulfillment will never come from these things that we see with our eyes. Never. It don't matter how it looks, what celebrity, what success, or what the joy, fulfillment, the love, the peace, the gratitude, it always starts here. It's here and here. And when we can align these, the thought and the feeling with the divine, that's it. That's all we need. All right, we got one last question here. Sugarcane juice. Sugarcane juice. Yes, sugarcane juice. I love sugarcane juice. Again, if coconut water is sweet for me, you could bet sugarcane juice is super sweet. So normally when I have sugarcane juice, I use it as a base for creating different recipes. So I'm gonna definitely cut it with the coconut water. Number one, maybe even 1 to 1. one cup coconut water, 1 cup sugarcane juice, and then I'm gonna maybe blend it with something super tart like tamarind, hibiscus. Hibiscus is great because it has a very tartness to it. Um, Lime, passion fruit, uh, whether they're tart, super tart, tamarind, hibiscus, passion. I mean, go to your international market. Um, yeah, there's super tart fruits that we probably are not, that need to be part of the equation that we can bring into the equation when we have that sugarcane juice. Or we can go the ginger route, go with the spices. And, you know, I got this apple spice juice that I've been doing now. I've been putting cloves and cinnamon and ginger. Yeah, we could do we don't have to have these things just in pies and desserts. We could spice up the juices and have everything in juice form and enjoy it while we doing our meditation going into the solstice. All right. Well, it's creation time for me. Y'all should know what that means. Once again, I love y'all. I say that with my authentic heart. I appreciate all of the energy, all of the support. I look forward to sharing in these next few weeks. So I will plan to come on again as a voice of inspiration, a voice of knowledge and wisdom that I've gained over these years, and that we can all go on this journey together of higher health, healing, divinity. If you're here on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. Y'all know all of that routine. Y'all have heard it before. Same thing here on IG. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Share this video if you think it was useful. I would appreciate that. And one love. Thank you. It's time. Creation time. Y'all know what that is. All right. Peace.